There are 5 simple movements that can quietly predict your future, not just how fit you are, but how long you actually live. These tests are so powerful. Researchers found that they can actually predict the risk of heart disease and early death more accurate than something like blood pressure. And they do so long before most doctors would ever catch it. What's even more alarming is how many people fail them, especially after the age of 50, because if you fail one, it means your body's already aging faster than you think. So let's go through all 5 to see how you score, with the most important one saved for last. Then let's talk about what you can do to start bringing your score up if they are too low. Number 1, this first one might be the single most powerful aging test on the planet. That's because your ability to balance on one leg declines faster than any other physical measure as you age. Faster than strength, speed, or mobility. That makes it your body's most sensitive early warning system for aging. One major study followed more than 1,700 people all over the age of 50. Researchers found that those who couldn't hold a one-leg stance for just 10 seconds had a 4-fold higher risk of death within the next decade. 4-fold from a 10-second test. So here's how to check yours safely at home. Stand tall with your hands on your hips and your feet together. Lift one foot about 6 inches off the floor and keep your eyes straight ahead and start counting. If you can stay steady for 10 seconds or more, you're doing great for your age. If you wobble, touch your raised foot down, or lose balance before 10 seconds, that's your body giving you a warning sign. The reason that balance is so important is because it's controlled by your muscles, your nervous system, your eyes, and your inner ear. And they're all working together, communicating with your brain. So when it starts to drop, that means your entire system is aging faster than it should, not just your legs. Now, fortunately, if you're a little wobbly, the fix is easy, and you can start right now at home. Step 1, start with single leg stance. Hold on to a counter or a sturdy chair for support. Lift one foot off of the ground. Balance for 10 to 30 seconds, then switch legs. When that starts to feel easier, use less hand support or bring your feet closer together to make it more challenging. Step 2 is add variety in how you stand. Try standing heel to toe, side by side with your feet touching, or on a surface that's like a folded towel or something that gives you a little instability. Changing your base of support forces your muscles and your joints and your balance sensors to adapt the same systems that protect you from falls. Step 3 is add gentle movement while balancing. Turn your head slowly from side to side, lift your arms, or shift your weight slightly back and forth. This helps train your body to stay steady even when you're moving or reacting to something in real life. Step 4 is challenge your brain at the same time. So while you're balancing, try talking, counting backwards, or naming animals out loud. Just test your brain with something. This builds your ability to focus and balance while doing multiple things at once. The kind of control that keeps you stable in everyday situations. Do these for about 10 to 15 minutes, 3 times a week. You'll notice that your balance and your stability start to improve within a few weeks. And if you stay consistent, you will make significant progress in about 12 weeks. Okay, number 2, next test. This predicts whether you'll stay independent as you age or start needing help with simple tasks. It's called the 30-second sit to stand test. It's one of the most powerful measures of real-world strength and longevity that we have. Because the moment you can't rise from a chair without using your hands, your independence starts to fade. Here's how to do it. Sit toward the front of a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the ground and shoulder width apart. Cross your arms over your chest, stand up completely, and then sit back down. Repeat it as many times as you can in 30 seconds. So you go as fast as you can for 30 seconds and count how many you do. The more you can complete, the better. If you want to know where you stand for your age, here's what the research shows. Men in their early 50s should hit around 19 reps in 30 seconds, while women that age average about 15. By late 50s, that drops slightly, about 18 for men, 15 for women. In your 60s, strong performance means 17 for men and 14 for women. Through your 70s, it's about 14 for men and 11 for women. And if you're beyond 80, maintaining 10 reps for men or 8 for women is an excellent sign that you're staying mobile and strong for your age. Now, if you're below those ranges, it's a sign that your body is losing power, one of the earliest signs of physical decline. If that's you, here's how to start improving it with simple movements that you can do right at home. First, do regular chair squats. Just like the test, sit down, stand up slowly without using your hands. Focus on control, not speed. This rebuilds the quads, the glutes, and the hips that keep you mobile. Second, seated knee extensions. You will sit tall in the chair, straighten one leg, hold it for a few seconds before switching to the other side. This isolates your quads, the muscles that drive you upward when you stand. You can also try mini step-ups. Use a single stair on the lowest stair, holding onto the rail, or a low step up, and then back down. This improves coordination and it builds strength for daily movement. Finally, seated glute squeezes, just like it sounds. Tighten your glutes for 5 seconds and then release. This strengthens the stabilizers that protect your hips and your back. Do these for 10 minutes, just 3 days a week, and most people see improvement within a month. Now, before we move on to the next test, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to like it and hit the subscribe button. Doing so helps get this information to more people who need to hear it, and it makes sure that you see more videos like this in the future. Exercise 3. The next test is one of the clearest windows into your long-term health, because it doesn't just measure strength or flexibility, it measures how well your entire body works together. This comes from a massive 12-year study of more than 4,000 adults. Researchers found that people who scored the lowest were up to 6 times more likely to die early from natural or cardiovascular causes. Here's the shocking part. Every single point higher on the 10-point scale lowers your risk by about 20 to 25%. So here's how to do it. Start by standing tall on a flat surface. Without holding on to anything, lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Cross leg is fine, and then stand back up the same way you went down. You start with 10 points. Subtract 1 point for every time that you use a hand, a knee, or an arm for support. So subtract 1. Subtract a half a point if your movement is wobbly or unstable. A total score of 8 or higher means your body is aging well. Below 8, risk starts to climb sharply. And if you're 4 or below, your odds of early death increases dramatically. That's because it's a signal that your body is spending more effort just to do basic movements. And when that happens, every other system starts to pay the price. Now, if you attempted the test and you got a low score, don't freak out. Here are some ways that you can start improving your score right away from home. First, do half get-ups. Lower halfway to the floor and then rise back up using one hand for balance. This builds strength and it builds confidence through the full range of the motion. Cross-legged sit to stands. Sit cross-legged on a cushion or on a yoga mat or on the carpet. Practice standing up and then lowering back down using less and less support over time. Drop into a deep squat and hold for 10 to 20 seconds. It opens up the hips and the ankles. It improves flexibility and balance. Seated twists. Sit tall and gently twist side to side. This keeps your spine mobile and it improves rotational control. Just a few minutes a day of these exercises incorporated into maybe a workout or at the end of a workout that you do can make a big difference in your score. Most people notice better balance, smoother movement, less stiffness within a couple of weeks of doing these exercises. Test number 4 might be the most surprising one of all because it can reveal how healthy your heart really is without ever stepping a foot into a doctor's office. I've spoke on this before and done videos on it before, but it was a Harvard study that followed more than 1,100 men for a decade. The results were staggering. Those who could do 40 push-ups or more had a 96% lower risk of heart disease compared to men who could barely manage 10. Even small improvements mattered. For roughly every 10 extra push-ups, the risk of heart problems dropped another 15 to 20%. Now, why is this? Because every push-up acts like a mini stress test for your heart. Each rep forces it to pump harder, push blood faster, and adapt under pressure. That's the kind of training that keeps your arteries flexible, your circulation strong, and your heart decades young. So if you want to find out where your score is, here's how to take the test. Start in a plank position with your hands under your shoulders and your body in a straight line, no bums in the air. Lower until your chest almost touches the floor, an inch from it, and then push back up. Keep a steady rhythm, about 1 push-up per second and stop the movement the moment you can't keep them in good form. Butt starts to come up, really starts to shake, really have to take a big break. So if you're a man over 50, hitting 15 to 20 push-ups is a strong indicator that your heart is in good shape, where you can just up and down until you can't do them in good form anymore. 15 to 20 in a row, over 50, you're in good shape. For women, aim for 10 to 15 modified push-ups. Do them off of your knees instead of the plank position. Just make sure that your body is still straight. You could also do it in a plank position, but do them inclined off of a bench or off of a stairs and do it that way in a modified position. Same test. Anything below those ranges, though, of the 15 to 20, suggests that your endurance and your cardiovascular system need some attention. If you can't do a standard push-up yet, here's how to build up safely from home so you can incorporate this test. First, start with wall push-ups. Standing, facing a wall, hands at chest height. Step back slightly and then lower your chest towards the wall. So your feet got to come away from the wall a little bit so you got an angle and push back out. It helps your body foundationally get the strength with minimal strength. Once a wall push-up feels easy and you can do several of those, move on to countertop push-ups or maybe off of a stair. Maintain a straight line from your head to your heels as you do the push-up, and then finally go to your knees. Drop down to the floor on your knees. Keep your core tight and your hand under your shoulders. Keep your body straight as you push up off the floor. This bridges the gaps to then doing full push-ups. Do these 3 times a week, and most people can raise their push-up count by 30 to 50% in as little as a month. Final exercise number 5. Your grip might be the simplest and most accurate predictor of how long you'll live. In one of the largest health studies ever done, over 140,000 adults across 17 countries were tracked for almost a decade. The results were very clear. For every 5 kilogram drop in grip strength, raised the risk of early death by 16%. Heart disease by 17%, and stroke by 9%. That's a stronger correlation than researchers found with blood pressure. The reason grip strength is so accurate is because it's not just about your hands. It's a reflection of your body's total vitality, your muscle mass, your nervous system, your energy metabolism, and even your heart health. So if your grip is weakening, your whole body is weak. There's a few ways to do the test. Option 1 is using a hand dynamometer, small handheld device that measures how hard that you can squeeze. You hold it at your side, you squeeze as tightly as you can for 3 seconds, and then it records your best of 3 tries. Now, with something like that, men in their 50s should score around 85 to 90 pounds of force. Women, 55 to 60. A lot of us don't have that test. So option 2 is more of a household version. If you don't have the meter, grab a heavy grocery bag, a water jug, a gallon jug, or a suitcase. Put it by your side and then hold it as long as you can without setting it down. If your grip gives out before 30 seconds, your endurance and likely your overall muscle health needs work. Now, of course, it's going to depend on how heavy it is, but it's an easy way to tell if you pick up something heavy and hold it, can you do that for 30 seconds and your grip not get fatigued, your hands start cramping, or you're really like it's going to give way. Option 3 is a hang test. Find a sturdy pull-up bar, a monkey bar, some overhead beam that can safely support your weight. You grip it with both hands and you let your body hang. This is probably the easiest one to do because it's just using your natural body. You can keep your toes lightly touching the ground for partial support, and you hold on as long as you can. If you can't hang for 30 seconds, that's a sign your grip endurance needs work. So if you struggle with any of these, holding on to heavy objects, hanging for 30 seconds, or if you actually get a chance to take the test with the meter, there's some really easy exercises you can do to improve. The first one's a farmer's carry, where you're holding 2 heavy objects, grocery bags, dumbbells, milk jugs, anything that's heavy, and you walk 20 to 30 steps while standing tall. Rest, and you repeat 3 times. It builds grip, builds posture, and total body strength. Second is a towel hold. Loop a towel through a sturdy door like a railing or a bar and hold one end in each hand. Step back until the towel is tight. Lean your body slightly away and hold your weight using just your grip for 10 to 15 seconds. Now make sure the post or whatever you're putting it around is sturdy. You'll feel your forearms and your fingers working without putting strain on your joints. Third is a squeeze and release exercise. Use a stress ball or a rolled up towel. Squeeze hard for 5 seconds and then relax for 5. And repeat 15 to 20 times per hand. Now, most people start feeling stronger grip and control within weeks and see measurable improvement in about 6. If you want to work grip the opposite direction, also simply use a rubber band and extend your fingers with the rubber band. Maybe while you're sitting watching TV, do that for a couple minutes. You really feel the muscles in your hand work in the opposite direction than grip strength, so you can get a balanced approach to strengthening the grip in your hands and in your forearms. Super simple tests, very easy exercise to make a difference that could really prevent falls and compromising your health long term. Now, before you jump into any of the new workouts and attempt to boost your longevity, there is something that you need to know. After 50, not every exercise helps you. Some can actually speed up aging. Millions of people are still doing these exercises thinking that they're staying fit when really they're grinding down their joints, compressing their spines, and wearing out their bodies. So I want to advocate for you actually doing exercise and then adding in the exercises we talked about above. But in my next video, the 7 worst exercises for people over 50, I'll show you exactly which ones to avoid and then what to do instead to stay strong, to stay mobile and pain-free for decades to come. I'll include a link to that here. Click to watch it next, and I'll see you there.